Hey, what's happening? It's Larnell Lewis, and you're checking out Info Music.
One, two, three,
Wow, why drums? Well, for me, drums started at age 2. And music goes actually right back to my great-grandfather. So we'll start from my father. He's a multi-instrumentalist, and my mom's a vocalist. And, music is always around the house. They still play and sing. And it just was very natural to participate in music for me. My brother's a drummer as well. My sister plays little drums. When it comes to playing many different styles of music, I was taught by my dad to respect the music and learn as many of the isms as you can. I've also found a link between, dance and visual arts, even just the general attitude of the city and how that plays in that particular style of music. So it pays off in the long term to also understand the culture where the music comes from. And once you grasp that, then you'll be able to dig a little bit deeper into why certain things happen. It's not just rhythms, it's not just notes and pitches, but there's a lot of cultural information inside of the styles. What I would suggest to drummers and musicians who travel a lot, as far as getting a lot of rest or feeling good when you're about to perform, is eat well. Eat solid meals that will give you energy. So eat for energy, and try your best to get a restful sleep, even if it's 4 or 5 hours, which might be the average for some people, or if it's 3, put away the phones, turn off all the lights, and just go to sleep. Those are 2 really important things, and stretching. Those help me feel good on the road. Always practice, always practice, always practice. For me, it doesn't happen as often as I would like it. Life balance, we're trying to figure it out on a daily basis. And, with every day that we have, you just try your best to make as many strides towards the goals that you have. But you have to have goals. And you're not going to be able to hit all your goals right away, which will require you to create a plan and just execute different stages of your plan till you've reached your goal. So for me, I desire to, still be extremely clear on the drums, have, access to speed, access to high, to large ranges of dynamics. And these things are things that I always concentrate on, no matter what. I believe that musicality is something that grows with age and with time. As you understand more about the world and as you've existed longer on this planet, I strongly believe that maturing is also what will leak into your music. And you'll start to figure out how to sometimes say more with less, how to say something more meaningful with maybe less notes. So that's something that I enjoy doing for sure, but I spend time practicing when I can, and I'm always trying to be more precise on the drums. Good weather inspires me. The other things that inspire me are great conversations, interesting thought, I want to say thought bubbles, but interesting thoughts in general, like within a conversation. I'm just intrigued by so many things, and I feel that there's so much information from a lot of those things that I can just put into my art, put into my music. Good food inspires me, you know, and sometimes negative things inspire me. Just try to take whatever it is that comes your way and just express and just let that moment go so that you don't bottle it up inside and implode, you know? Definitely a combination of stretching and some stick work on my stick pad is usually how I warm up. I was taught again, you know, a while ago that as drummers, we need to treat our bodies like athletes. So to treat our bodies like athletes to me means your diet, means stretching, means getting sleep, means, you know, tending to your body as much as you can. But the exercises that I do on the stick pad are very simple, and it's a string of 16th notes, or a grid of 16th notes, and the sticking is singles, single strokes, double strokes, and paradiddles. Then I just loop that at a very slow tempo, maybe 16th notes to the quarter. 16 notes, and the quarter would be 60 BPM. My tip to young drummers and more experienced drummers is ask for help when moving your drums. Because, you know, if you're not careful, I mean, it's fine to lift your own drums. It's great, you know, that you can do that if you can do that. But sometimes, you know, you might maybe pull a muscle the wrong way, or if you have a lot of gigs in a row, you're actually overworking your tendons, and you use that up before you actually get to the drum kit, which could eventually lead to injury if you're not doing it carefully. So I know there's a lot of people out there who are fine to do it, and I'm fine to do it as well, but it never hurts to ask for help. Yeah, definitely. In Snarky Puppy, there's quite a bit of improv, but there are also specific parts. And I enjoy the balance that we have of parts versus improv, mainly because, you know, without a part, I mean, we could do anything we want, but it gives us a really interesting challenge from night to night to try and vary things up a little bit, you know? And Michael's a great band leader for allowing us to maybe stray away from something a little bit. But I think that with the parts that we have, I don't even know what percentage I would say is improv. I mean, there are the parts that exist, so the songs sound recognizable, but there's definitely quite a bit of improv, and it could just be different from any night, you know, night to night. In fact, on this tour, what we've been doing is we have been recording every single night of this tour, live recording, multi-track, and making it available the next day. So we have a recording engineer on the bus while we're driving to the next city. So we play tonight, and while we're driving to Berlin, he's going to be mixing at that time, making tonight's show available tomorrow. And so, yeah, it's really intense. But with that, you'll actually get a chance to see from night to night how different the songs might be. Maybe vary in tempo. Maybe, you know, we might go into a reggae, you know. Yeah, it'll just change up, you know. It's very interesting. It's a lot of fun. When it comes to church and, you know, the drummers that I know of for sure that have started in church and have progressed and become great, I think that if people do play in a church, it's awesome. The one thing I would say about it, why it is such an awesome experience, is not only do you play every week and you're required to, you know, essentially perform, but there's a sensibility of a responsibility, you know. There's a sense that you have this responsibility to provide a certain atmosphere. So you're not just there just kind of messing around. Like, it's very purposeful playing, and you start to focus on, you know, how to assist or how to, you know, serve, or how to, again, create an atmosphere. In that situation, the musicians ultimately are atmosphere changers. And if they're not paying attention and they're not sensitive to what's happening, they can either miss a cue or mislead the flow of worship. And so that brought into another situation, like maybe playing in a jazz band or maybe playing in a band like Snarky Puppy, you know, being aware of how the room feels or how the band feels or how the audience feels. It's just this, you know, just returning to that mindset of a responsibility of changing or maintaining a certain vibe as far as the atmosphere goes. As far as, I guess you could say, the scheduling of players for the band, because with Snarky Puppy, as you mentioned, the family is up to 40 or more people. The biggest thing is, first of all, that everyone knows the music, right? We've done all these albums and everyone's aware of the music, and they have very unique skill sets that fit in really cool and interesting ways into the music. As far as the scheduling goes, that is usually worked out by management. And what we just do is the dates are sent out and we send our availability, and they try to make it as even as possible to spread it out throughout the year, depending on how many dates we have. And sometimes some dates will come up randomly. So if someone hasn't been playing enough, they might get them in the rotation. Or in a case like mine, last year, I was the acting head of the percussion department at the school that I teach at Humber College. And I needed to take some time off the road. So, you know, Jason Thomas, sorry, Jason, and Jameson Ross as well. They picked up the slack and played a whole bunch of other shows that I would not have been able to do. But it's great because it changes the music. And on this tour alone, I mean, I think we've had 3 or 4 cast changes. It's been unbelievable. When it comes to the people of Poland and my experience with music here, everyone just seems to be just really into music making, you know, and I don't know if that's just the audience that we attract. I don't know if that's the general vibe, but it feels really genuine and it feels familiar, and I enjoy it.